Hey friends, I just thought I wanted to share one of my new videos, and the link is in the description. This is my red pepper cashew garlic dip and veggie tray that you can make for any of your summer festivities, including today, which is July the 4th. So check the link in the description. And today I got my box. I got some medjool dates and some limes and berries and plums. So yum. And here, this is sea asparagus. It's actually very salty and it's quite nice in dressings to add a little bit of the salt flavor or salad. And grapes, because I love my grapes. Let's see here, red leaf lettuce and some romaine lettuce. Super yum. Great in my salads, and again some bean sprouts because I love those. My vine tomatoes still need to ripen a little bit, and my mushrooms here, as usual. You guys know I'm obsessed with those, and my garlic scrapes. These are so delicious. Oh, and these are purple scallion onions. They're little green onions that have purple ends, so I'm going to add those. I like to get heirloom products from my box, and they're great additions to my diet for variety. Hey friends, Lissa here for another video. Today is July the 4th, so first off, I'd like to wish all my American friends a happy Independence Day, and I'm wearing my little Independence Day tank top today in honor of all of you. And today I wanted to talk about a question that I'm asked so often as why I don't eat cooked food. Now, I don't want to say that I'm completely against people eating cooked food as long as it's vegan, but I don't eat cooked food myself, and I have a bunch of reasons why, so I'm going to go through those with you today. So the first reason is, and this one I have heard differing opinions on, but I believe it to be true, that the enzymes in our food is altered or destroyed at around 115 degrees Fahrenheit to 118 degrees Fahrenheit. So that renders our food harder to digest. Again, there is differing opinions on this out there. I've read a lot of different sides, but this one I believe, so I'm going to go with that. The second reason is that cooked foods make me want more cooked foods. They just do, and if I was to eat a cooked vegan meal, I would probably want another cooked vegan meal. And one little tiny sweet potato here will end up being regular potatoes later, will end up being pasta, will end up being, I mean, I would always remain vegan for sure, 100%, but I don't trust myself. I don't believe that I would be able to just have one cooked meal. I think that because I have a fairly addictive personality when it comes to food, that I would let myself go, I think. I mean, I don't want to test it, but if worst came to worst, I would probably just stick with steamed veggies instead of doing a starch. But that again, I think that if I did eat the cooked food, I would probably end up eating more cooked food, and I don't want to go there, so I'm not going to go there. Okay, cooked food is dehydrating. Especially baked foods, fried foods too, are actually quite dehydrating because when you cook, a lot of the water, the synergistic water that is in the food, is evaporated off. And it's actually quite dehydrating on your system, and even drinking water with the foods I find doesn't help. They feel heavy in my body, they feel really dense, and I can fill up on a lot of calories very quickly because they're dense calories, so you can eat a lot and fill up very fast. That said, a lot of people say they feel they need the cooked food because it sustains them. And yes, it does, because it takes your body so much longer to digest a cooked meal than it would a raw meal. But do we need to feel sustained? I personally don't believe we do, because if you look at our ancestry, we didn't have 9-to-5 jobs and all that kind of stuff. You know, we're talking way back in the day when we were hunter-gatherers. We basically grazed and ate all day and hung out with our family and did what we needed to do in the tribe, but we basically ate a lot of the time. And according to some research, they say that we ate 104 grams of fiber a day, and 104 grams of fiber a day is a lot of food. So you're probably eating quite often throughout the day, and I think that the 3 meals a day thing, yes, I eat 3 meals a day, but I snack a lot in between, and my meals are quite large, so I do find that I take a long time to eat my 3 main meals a day. So that said, I personally like feeling light. I don't like feeling heavy, and I don't feel dehydrated anymore. I feel awesome eating fresh fruits and vegetables full of their natural hydration, because natural fruits and vegetables, the way they're grown in nature, have all the water content, and it's synergistic with the vegetable. This is where it comes to dehydrated foods. I also don't do well on raw vegan dehydrated foods like kale chips and flax crackers and, you know, all those like raw vegan breads and things like that. I don't do well on those. I'll eat those and I feel dehydrated. I feel like there's a rock in my stomach. So to me, it's the same way. Almost worse with dehydrated food, because you're getting rid of all of the water. Like, at least steaming, there's a little bit of water there and you can drink the broth, but it's still not the same. It's just the dehydrated foods are so void of water, and they just take, you know, they suck all the water up out of your colon, whatever you have left, and leaves you feeling dehydrated. And if you're using all of that water, even replacing the water, I find does not act the same way for me. So I actually avoid dehydrated foods. I know some of my videos have dehydrated foods, but I only dehydrate foods to warm them up and infuse the flavors, and I never leave anything in my dehydrator longer than 3 to 4 hours. So everything is still moist and it's just warmer, especially in the winter time if I feel like I have to have something a little warm, but nothing crazy like that. Yeah, basically longer digestion times. What I was talking about earlier is that if you eat a bunch of fruit, you're probably going to feel a little hungry after about an hour because they digest so fast. Whereas if you ate a bunch of dehydrated foods or cooked foods, you wouldn't necessarily think to eat later. And I think that you're getting less nutrients because I can eat more often and more food and get more nutrients. That also brings me to the point where a lot of people say that, for example, carrots. If you cook carrots, increases the bioavailability of vitamin A. And yes, that's true. However, I eat so much vitamin A in the day that I don't think that eating a cup of cooked carrots is going to really matter on my vitamin A intake. But that's just my opinion. I don't know about the science about that, so whatever. That's just how I feel. Because I eat so many nutrients during the day, I don't even worry about that. And the final one is it's less cleanup time. Lots less cleanup time. Basically, I just rinse my salad bowl, wash my fork, clean my cutting board, throw away or compost my, veggies, and that's really it. I don't really have a lot to clean up after, and I actually really like it. My prep time is a lot less. I don't have to stand in front or wait for my meals for like 20 or 40 minutes. I can make a salad in 10 minutes and then I can eat it right away. So that's another bonus to not eating cooked food. But overall, I feel way better eating raw foods than I would eating cooked foods. So a lot of times I've actually thought of doing a test, but in all honesty, guys, I don't even desire it. I don't even want to do a test. I don't even want to steam broccoli. It's not a desire. I mean, one day maybe I'll do a test and see how I feel on steamed veggies. And I think that if there was ever a situation where I was completely starving and I really needed something to eat, I would stick to steamed veggies like steamed broccoli with no oil or salt, maybe some fresh herbs on it or something like that, but I would stay away from starches. Now, that also brings me to a question that I had on my fan page, and it was about the Gerson therapy, and they do something called the Hippocrates soup, which is carrots and potatoes and some other root vegetables and things like that. Now, cooking those in the water, you're not losing in nutrients because you're actually drinking the broth as well. However, that therapy is its own therapy, and you need to follow it exactly the way they say. It is a lot of raw food and lots of juices and other things, but I personally feel best on raw. So I'm gonna stick with that, and that's what I'm gonna do. That's how I have lost all my weight, cleared up my skin, countless other health benefits. So I'm gonna stick with that. I feel awesome on raw foods, and that is what I crave. That's what I want to eat. I want fruits, vegetables, my huge salads. You guys know I love my salads. So that's what I want, and that's what I'm gonna stick to. Also, my energy levels would not be the same if I ate a cooked meal. I do feel extremely sluggish, tired, and it's probably because it takes so much extra time to digest these meals because they're so dense in calories and dehydrated and loss of enzymes and all that kind of stuff. So I do feel that it's more tiring to eat cooked foods. I feel tired after, not as much energy. So there's that. And also somebody also mentioned to me the Carolyn photography. If you guys haven't heard of it, you should Google it, Carolyn photography, and I can post a link in my description to some pictures, but they've taken these energetic photographs of cooked food versus raw food, and the difference is actually quite interesting, the energy levels of the foods once they've been cooked. So there's that too. If you believe it or not, you can check that out for yourself. And yeah, I just don't want to fall back into my old lifestyle because I don't want to go there. I love where I am, and that is because of raw food. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Click like if you like, and subscribe to my channel. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and 2grand, all at Raw Food Romance. And until the next video, guys, fruit on.